What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Flat Out. I'm still trying to fight this cold off. It's been kind of like up and down. It's like some days you feel better, some days you don't. So I've just been fighting that, but bear with us. We're gonna try to get the RX-8 done today. Actually, we're gonna get the RX-8 done today and fire it up, and so that way we can start doing the break-in miles and everything like that. So that way we can get you guys a video of a dyno and see what this thing actually makes. And hopefully the compression's good. I mean, Kyle and I, we both think that it should be good. I mean, there's nothing else that, looked wrong with it. So that's what we're going to go with, and hopefully everything worked out. So we're going to do the AFR to gauge today, a fuel pump I have for it, and the Adaptronic. And Brett and Adam are going to be here today to help out and give me a helping hand. So that's going to be cool, and we can get this thing done a lot quicker and fire it up for you guys. Well, don't mind the mess. I just was putting new hose clamps and stuff on for the radiator hoses and other hoses because I really am not a fan of those little snap rings. So got new hose clamps on. We got the upper intake manifold on, the alternator, pretty much all that's done. Just got a few more things, like I got to run this vacuum line for the Adaptronic, and then we got our fittings in, our lines are ran and cleaned out and put back on. So we got all that, and now, right now I'm kind of running the wires for the AFR gauge, and we're going to put on the new mid pipe, which is a catless mid pipe. So we're going to throw that on, because it's also got the AFR bung on there. So yeah, we're going to do all that stuff, and hopefully we'll fire it up in a little bit, because I mean there's really not much left. I mean, just like coolant tank, the battery, the intake, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is done and ready to go. So we're pretty much there. I don't want to show you this, but don't worry about the shitty welds that the one shop did, or exhaust shop did. But so a lot of the times we have issues with the gaskets blowing out on the exhaust or frying up. So one thing I do to solve that is I always I try to go with all V-band stuff on the exhaust, because one, it makes it easier, and two, you don't have to really worry about exhaust leaks as much. So it's just a little easier. I mean, kind of sucks because they really fucked up the welds on this thing. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to show you guys that. But yeah, I'm gonna get to this real quick and throw it in there and start buttoning up the whole front end, and we should start cranking to get oil pressure and everything probably here in a little bit, and then yeah, hopefully we can fire it up first try. Maybe. I mean, we did last time, but this is a whole different story. But alright, so see you in a minute. I think we got everything, right?
Looks like it.
Alright. But yeah, so we think we got everything plugged up and connected and tightened, hopefully. So we also have the Adaptronic connected up in here. So we got the Adaptronic. It's the older version, not the new plug and play. But so that's in there. We got the fuel pump fuse taken out, so that way we can crank it and build some oil pressure before we fire it up. But I think we got everything this time. Hopefully we can fire it first time.
Looks like it.
So we'll see what happens.
Go for it.
Alright, so we're on attempt number 2. Let's see if it fires up. Something doesn't seem right.
Like what?
Alright, so we are having an issue with it starting, so I pulled out the Adaptronic. I mean, yeah, it was tuned before, but I don't know if it's still on there, or maybe something happened to it, or maybe it's just not right for what we got. So I put the stock ECU back in it, and we're gonna see if we can fire it up now. Plugged.
Just trying, dude.
Plug into that sensor?
Which one?
The one underneath the thing?
It should be.
So it's the next day after we fired it up. There's some metal on metal type noises going on. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. So today I'm going to kind of go and try to diagnose what's going on. I mean, at least it fired up, but I don't know what that noise is. So we're going to kind of go through. Well, I'm going to go through and, check a few things, see, if it's rudder housing or if it's just like a throwout bearing. I don't really, it's kind of, I've never came into that situation before or that noise before, so it's kind of like I just got to diagnose it and try to figure out what's going on. So kind of interesting. So I just got to figure out what it is, and hopefully we can fix it fairly easily. I don't feel like pulling the motor out and redoing it again, because that's just a lot of work and time, as you guys have seen. So it's unfortunate, but we're gonna figure it out. All right. After fighting with the car for a while, we found out the alternator was the problem. I don't know why, but the alternator decided it didn't want to work anymore. So we got that fixed. Luckily, I had 2 other replacements just in case. So it's kind of good to keep your extra parts here and there, especially stuff that you might need later on. So I threw a new alternator in it, and then well, not a new alternator, but one I had laying around. Threw that in there. That cleared up. I got the car running on the Adaptronic, but the only problem right now is that it's running really, really, really rich. So I think that's kind of like the reason why we had an issue starting it in the first place, was it was just dumping way too much fuel into it. So that was kind of part of the issue. So now it's running on the stock ECU, and yeah, I mean it runs idling. We just need to go for a test drive now. Alright, so we're on our first test drive with the RX-8, kind of breaking it in, seeing how it's doing and everything. We got about 1,500 miles, to drive to break in. I mean, even knowing, we got 4,000 miles on the bearings and everything else, just want to make sure that the side seal's breaking the right way. I mean, I don't know if there's a difference, but just in case, we're going to break it in the normal way. But Yeah, so we got a little bit of time ahead of us. Maybe we'll do a video. We're gonna do like a small, like little trip type of thing, and maybe we'll do a video on that or something. But yeah. So I'm just gonna show you guys, how it sounds and everything, and let you guys hear it. Yeah, there's definitely a grind in the trans for the a grind in second gear. So it's just something we're gonna have to look at. Maybe just change out the fluid. I highly doubt it, because second gears are normally notorious on these things to having issues and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on with that. So we'll figure it out. I mean, you'll have to go buy a trans or something. I mean, you can find them like decently cheap for like $500 or something like that. So not too big a deal. I normally just like doing like little loops around like where I live, so that way if something does happen, I'm not very far away from home, and I could just easily get home if I had to, instead of like doing a mission on the first trip and breaking down or something if something happens. But everything's working pretty good, so I'm gonna drive it around a little bit and then I'll talk to you guys when I get back. Alright, so this is the end of the video. We just wanted to get you guys, show you guys the the first drive and everything. I mean, the first startup was good, but unfortunately the alternator went out on us, so we couldn't just do it right then and there. But now we got it done. It's running, drivable. It ran pretty good. We had an issue with the stalling, which it was just one time. It was just kind of random. So I don't know what's up with that, but it could be something really simple. Other than that, it went really well, and looking forward to getting some miles on this and getting the dyno tuned and getting some track days in, and show you guys what that's all about and show you what it makes. But that's in the future. We still got 1,500 miles to go on this. So but yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.